energy for negative shit anymore, unless I'm tearing someone a new asshole because they kind of deserve it. But yeah, be true to yourself. Try not to be a piece of shit, and don't cuss as much as I do because it sounds way smoother when I do it. I've been cussing a lot. Like I normally don't ever cuss.
No, you cuss a lot.
On the air, whatever.
Yeah, man. I don't know when all of a sudden we just said fuck it and just started cussing because initially that wasn't the move, but whatever. We do our thing here.
Blame you, Pete.
No, you were actually the one who would always slip up, and then at some point I was just like, man, fuck it.
For like 17 straight episodes.
Listen, so couple things here. First of all, I got to talk about two things that Kenny just talked about because they're two of my favorite things in the whole entire world. Eminem and the Raiders. I've already talked a lot about the Raiders. I've already talked a lot about Gruden. I've already talked a lot about it. Like, you don't want to hear any more of it. I've already spilled it all. The bottom line is the Raiders have got to win because, honestly, part of me feels like fuck them and I want to see them get ran. And the other part of me sees the Raider emblem hanging over my desk and realize that no matter what, I'm always going to be a Raider. And that's just the way that I think. And that's just what's ingrained in me. My train of thought, the way I carry myself, like, I'm a Raider. And so if they win, I'm, of course, going to root for them. And I, of course, want to root for them because I don't want people asking me every single week, what happened to your Raiders this week? What happened to your Raiders this week? Your Raiders lost. Blah, blah, blah. Like, even, like, honestly, seriously, imagine being off the grid, living your best life, and coming home to your phone being absolutely blown up with your friends checking on you to see if you're okay because they haven't heard from you and your team's best player in 20 years just got traded. Like, seriously, between Blake Griffin and Khalil Mack, I don't even know if I'm an NBA or NFL fan anymore. It's like, it used to be corny to me when journalists would say, oh, I'm not a fan, I don't have any rooting interest. But now I'm really starting to understand it because it's like, even as a fan, I give all my money and my time and my attention to this team that consistently breaks my heart. And the WWE wrestler said it best. We need answers. Why do you keep doing this to us?
Why do you betray the people who love you?
Exactly. And so I don't know how this whole Raider fandom is going to unfold with me. My dad has maintained his Rams fanhood because he's from LA. Since even when they were in St. Louis, they were always his NFC team. So he has that to fall back on, and he's in on the Gruden thing. But it's like I told him, you guys wanted Gruden. So this is kind of what came with the territory. And honestly, I know it's a business. I know fans don't call the shots, but we didn't ask for this. And to be dragged through this whole rebuild all over again, I don't blame Kenny for jumping ship. I don't blame anyone for jumping ship because that's what makes the Raiders fan base so great. Is not only are we super knowledgeable, but we're super passionate. And we have a certain line of expectations that our legendary owner instilled upon us. Like, when you say the commitment to excellence, like, bro, that really, really, really fucking hurts. Yes. Like, that really, really struck a chord. And as far as Eminem, man, honestly, I heard Kamikaze and I was stoked. Like, 4 songs in, I was like, Eminem is back. He has bars. Like, he's going in. Like, he feels like he has a purpose. He feels like he's proven something. And for me, that's what I like about Eminem, is the fact that he always feels like he has to prove himself. Because that's really how he came up, is this whole disgruntled figure on Infinity who knew he had bars. But for whatever reason, people were not fucking with him. Even before that, when he was a battle rapper, was battling people, but nobody fucked with him. That's how it was. So now I feel like that's a renewed sense inside of him, and as far as a creator, man, finding that again, I have to respect it. On that same note, I can't really blame Joe Budden for the things that he said about Eminem. If you haven't listened to it, just to sum it all up, basically said, and M said this in one of the songs on Kamikaze, that, you know, he has made a lot of people around him a stepping stone, whether it was on purpose or unintentionally. And ultimately, I know you've been really hard on him, but the fact is, Eminem has done a lot for the rap game. Just as far as not only making it highly emotional and vulnerable, but also making it mainstream and really expanding the audience. So, on top of the fact that he's always been true to actual rap and hip hop and a nerd, so I'm always gonna love Eminem no matter what. And final notes, because I did listen to the Joe Budden podcast, and if you've listened to us for a long time, you'll know we have a lot of influences. A lot of them, Joe Budden's one, but we listen to a lot of different people. We take a lot of different things. And the biggest thing I took away from the Joe Budden podcast, and the thing that I really, really, really liked that they were talking about, was when Maul was talking about Charlemagne, and he was saying, you know, you're saying I'm inexperienced, but we're all inexperienced. This whole hip-hop podcasting thing is brand new. We're not sitting here trying to do radio. We're not doing radio bullshit. We're having conversations. And that's really what this fucking podcast is like. That's what this fucking podcast is like. Sometimes we do radio. Sometimes we take call-ins. Sometimes we have open phone lines. Sometimes I have a loud, excited voice. Sometimes I tease. But honestly, fuck all that shit. This is a podcast me and my friend created to have a voice, and we have conversations, and we have dope friends who come in here and share what they do special. And that's what this podcast is like. And that's why so many different networks are attaching themselves to us. Shout out to FBC Radio, shout out to X Squad, and shout out to the Good News radio station. Because we are different, we are unique, and we have an audience. It's not a huge audience, but it's a diverse audience. I mean, we got people. We got people in kitchens listening to us. We got entrepreneurs listening to us. We got potheads listening to us. We got lawyers listening to us. We got teachers, coaches, graphic designers, other podcasters, other NFL people, like advertising people. Like, people listen to us, and people who listen to us, they fuck with it. And people who come on the show want to come on again. So, regardless of if this ever makes us any money, that's not the intent. The intent is to provide what's been missing in the sports, media, hip-hop, podcasting, broadcasting segment. And that's really what we provide, because we intersect on so many different things. But yeah, man, this is the Touchdowns and Tangents podcast. You can catch us on the Good News radio station live every Thursday. You can catch replays on Full Press Radio and X Squad affiliate, and another podcast network coming soon as we get our shit together on that partnership.
Just waiting on payday, dog. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, that pastor was a piece of shit scumbag for what he did at Aretha Franklin's funeral. And if somebody ever comes to my funeral on some dumb shit, you have my permission to light some boots on fire and curb stomp them into oblivion while this song is playing. And then I want you all to electric slide and make fun of Pete because he can't actually bop on the 2 and the 4 instead of the 1 and the 3.
But yeah, I just want to see, what podcast platforms boot us for playing this so long. Shout out to Spotify, shout out to Radio Public, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast, Touchdowns and Tangents.
First off,
I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, you really are.
It's because I'm really fucking tired. Touchdowns and Tangents Radio.